What's up guys, Slimer4 here, bringing you another World of Tanks video. And as promised, this is going to be the first in a series of videos I'm going to do on the US heavy tank line. So, we're going to start off with the T1, move to the T2 medium, all the way up to the T1 heavy, and then all the way to the T1 10E5. And I'll try to kind of show you the strengths and weaknesses of the American heavy tank line, and it's one of my favorite lines. It's the line I first went up when I started playing this game. And it's a line I've enjoyed quite a lot. But enough of that. Let's get straight into the T1 Cunningham. It's one of the stronger Tier 1 vehicles, and it's one of the few Tier 1s I would like go back and actually play, and I have played. Just because it's fast and the gun is very nice. So it's got 115 hit points, which is pretty standard. It's got 10, basically no armor, 10 on each side, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 on the hull and turret. Like, not very good. Top speed is 41 kilometers, which is very good for a Tier 1. And it's just an all-around very good tank. If you want to look at the MS-1 for comparison, which is the Soviet Tier 1 vehicle, and I'll be kind of comparing Soviet tanks with the American tanks a little bit. The engine power is only 43, whereas the T1 is 132, and it's a bit heavier, but it's still a lot faster. The top speed of 41, and I can tell you from experience, the MS1 doesn't get that top speed as easily. MS1 has a bit more armor on it, but it also has a single shot gun, whereas the T1 Cunningham has this fantastic 20mm machine clip loading gun. It's got 15 shells in the magazine, and it fires it in 3-round bursts. So you have 5 shells and it fires 3 every time. Penetration's pretty it's pretty mediocre. 30 with the regular and 41 with the premium, but 12 damage per shot, and you got 15 of those. Man, you can rip apart targets, and you can actually usually take out a T1 in one clip. In fact, you can take a T1 out with only 4 rounds in the clip. So it's a very strong gun in that respect. Everything else is pretty standard on the vehicle. It's just a pretty mobile tank for Tier 1, and it's a pretty decent vehicle all around. So let's talk a little bit about the US heavy line. US heavy tank line is, and we'll talk a lot about this a lot more when I get to the T1 heavy tank and the M6. But the American line is generally a very well-rounded line. They're not particularly strong in any area until you get to, let's say, the T29. But they're not particularly bad. They're decently mobile. They've got decent guns, decent armor. They're very well-rounded tanks. But enough about the heavy tanks. Let's talk about the light tank, T1. We're in a completely Tier 2 matchup. We're the only Tier 1 on our team. But that doesn't mean we can't have a very large impact on the game. The gameplay you want to use in the T1 is kind of flanking Tier 2 vehicles, and you just want to pop in and out, empty your clip, pop back in, and reload. Versus Tier 2 targets. Versus Tier 1 targets, you just can bully everyone around, because you can just clip them out all the time, poke in, and just erase a tank. But against Tier 2s, you have to be a little more circumspect about it. I'm going to be popping up to the middle. It's the strongest area on this map. You control the middle. A lot of times you can just win the game straight up. And I'm decently fast, so I can try to get up. The only issue is, versus Tier 2 opponents, there's a lot of tanks who are faster than you, like that M2 Light. So I'm going to have to back out, because they have already taken control of the hill completely. So I gotta be very careful. There's a couple T7 combat cars. They can wreck me very quickly. So I'm gonna kind of shift positions over to this rock on the left side. And I'm also gonna start taking shots down to the left side of the map. Another thing to kind of watch out for with the T1 is its penetration is just very mediocre. So, and it also drops off significantly at range. So as you can see, even against a fairly weakly armored tank like a T2 medium, I still have a little bit of trouble penning. But if I can put some shots on this tank. I've got a friendly pushing up over here, so I'm going to help him out. And also, I kind of want to close the range a little bit. He's putting rounds on me, so I'll have to back up. I got very close to dying. But I did light him on fire, so I got a lot of good damage down there. As you can see, I'm not doing that particularly well, but I didn't fully load, but I felt like I had to just empty my clip and pull back. So I did. I'm just trying to use my small turret here to the greatest advantage. I believe he's reloading at the moment, so I'm just gonna try to take him out before he reloads. And I am able to do so. Bit of a mistake on my part. I shouldn't have been poking up when I wasn't loaded. But he was not able to capitalize on that mistake. Now if I can just... Perfect. I seem to have forgotten to load ammunition in this tank, and because the ammunition, the reload is completely free in a tier 1 tank, sometimes that will happen. You'll forget to load ammo. So I might actually run out this game, but it's fine. I've got premium. But I'm going to be a little more careful with my ammunition from now on. As you can see, even the premium ammunition doesn't really help the tank that much. Even as complete side armor, I was having a little bit of trouble penning him. That's fine. I can now put some rounds on this PZ2. The accuracy is not fantastic. As you can probably see here, I have a pretty decent crew on this tank. This T18 is trying to come for me. I'm going to try to track him, put some rounds on him, and then quickly drive out. If he comes over that, I can really just pop him. But he's not going to because he's a decently skilled player. Well, I spoke too soon. Ah! I thought I could get out of there. I could not get out of there. So I kind of threw that game. But hopefully that gave you a decent look at the T1 Cunningham's abilities and how it can play. I did do a video previously on the T1 as well, my introductory video, so hopefully that's enough to kind of see how the T1 goes. Getting 324 damage and 3 kills in a completely tier 2 matchup is pretty nice for the T1. It's probably like it's a very good tank for bullying other tier 1s. It's not as strong for killing tier 2 targets, shall we say. But it can still play versus tier 2s, and if you get a nice tier 1 matchup, it can rack up the kills, as you saw in my previous video where I was able to secure 9 kills in my T1. You can see I got here second on damage, so pretty happy with that game. Alright, that concludes this video. Hopefully you kind of saw some of the strengths of the T1, which include mobility, and I was able to back out of dangerous situations and just dish out the damage with this awesome 20mm machine gun that it carries. And look forward to the next video, and I'll catch you guys next time.